goes another 20-year-old.
Holy shit, I hate those guys.
Gotta hate 20-year-olds.
Fuck those guys.
Somebody help these 20-year-olds.
It's time to figure it out, Ricky. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
Trav, what is this bell doing here?
Well, it used to be our shame bell for when we were hitting the jewel.
Yes. But what does it say on it?
It says ring for a beer.
Funny you should ask.
Welcome to 2 Minute Jams, a show sponsored by True History Brew. Let's crack this open. So crispy. 2 Minute Jams is a show about all things 20-year-old. With help from friends, experts, and our own personal experiences, we hope to shed some light on those issues that leave our age group lost and confused. One of those issues is beer, and it's really nice. It's nice to settle on a beer you like.
For sure. What is your beer choice?
Well, you know me. Relatively palateless, mostly like to chug, and a Pilsner, from what I've learned, I think is my beer of choice. What's a Corona?
A Corona, I think, is it a lager?
I don't know, but it's like
It's a
light.
lager.
It's light, like anything from a Corona to a Pilsner in that range.
Yeah.
Super smooth.
You like lagers and pilsners. You're not really one for all the fanciness in terms of flavors and
I'm a
all
simple
the
guy.
other stuff.
I'm a simple guy.
Happening in the craft beer world. But this craft beer
Let's talk about it.
in particular, fantastic. It's a dry hopped pilsner, easy drinking, and it is
Made by friends of ours.
And that's
what makes it taste even better, because if you're like me and you're throwing your money at these beer companies that kind of mean nothing to you, like, thanks Corona, here's another $50. You know what I mean? Like,
big fish in the pond.
Right. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you have a couple pesos to spend, why not support a friend? The same way we ask people to support our podcast and our music with their ears, and their time. Support True History Brewing, Farmer in the Sky. I said last episode that it's going to be in 100 LCBOs, I believe 35 in the GTA. I forget the exact number. We just got an update from the True History HQ that LCBO warehousing issues.
There was a little hiccup, I guess. They've
on LCBO side though.
On LCBO side inside their warehouse, which is affecting multiple companies, I guess. You can check out all the details on the True History Instagram page.
Yeah, make sure you just follow them. Was it at True History?
At True History Brewing.
At True History Brewing. Make sure you follow them and keep tabs on the updates, because you're going to want to get one of these crispy cold ones in you. It's called Farmer in the Sky. And
as well, they also have listed where you can drink their beer currently, restaurants and such. So until the LCBO turns around and they fix whatever's going on there, check out the Instagram page and get all the info and updates. So
yeah, and that brings us to you know what, Wrist and Rye. I got to give it a shout out. Wrist and Rye was a company that I've been working with for like 3 years, and it was started by a few friends way back. You've heard the spiel if you've listened to the podcast, and then I ended up taking it over, and it's been a grind. Men don't really like to purchase jewelry. We had some initial success on the whole, beaded jewelry trend, getting on some celebs and all that, but it kind of plateaued when the company kind of had some partner issues and was like reinvented. We tried to get into stores and all that, and the trend kind of got a little ahead of us, and I've been playing catch up, and for a while I didn't know what to quite do with it, and like, thankfully it made enough money to pay for a lot of the gear that we use for the podcast, which is why we say it supported the podcast. And if you like it, we have a promo code in our show notes that you can get some jewelry for yourself, because it's good quality stuff.
It's great stuff.
And,
great bracelets.
I appreciate the orders that I've seen come through. Very nice of you to support us. But what it also led to, and which is why I got to give it an extra shout out, is all the stuff we learned making Wrist and Rye has also helped our friend Annika and my current business partner start her female jewelry line. So got to give her a shout out.
Yeah, we got to chat about that as well.
We did. We gave her a shout out a couple episodes back, but Landia Collection had a booming opening week. Annika's out there just absolutely pounding the pavement, getting the exposure out on her jewelry. It looks so fucking good.
Yeah, she did a great job designing them. There's lots of cool little, what do you call them? Like the
designs? What?
Yeah, I guess the designs, but like the pieces they hang on your
pendants.
Yeah, the pendants. Yeah.
Well, like she did a whole video on her YouTube page, Annika Boren. If you haven't seen her like YouTube and Instagram, she threw up a whole video on YouTube recently, and it was basically outlining, some shit that happened to her recently. Like she used to date a hockey player on the Leafs, and then like it's obviously super shitty when you break up with someone on a Toronto sports team, because we literally suck their knobs like as Torontonians, people on the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
And from her side, she was just like, this is shitty, because like obviously when you break up with someone, there's usually some bad blood, some stuff that happens.
I mean, it's never good,
and it's hard to get sympathy from a Toronto so Toronto fans and stuff like that. So she took some heat for it, and some other things happened to her, and she basically turned a lot of it into like inspiration for some of the designs. So I'm super proud of it. She should be proud of it. So that's why I got to give a shout out to Wrist and Rye, the OG, which has kind of brought about everything we're doing right here.
Yeah.
Was that big company. So shout out to it. We're going to do a cool thing now. This episode, you know what I've been noticing, Rob?
What?
We're losing our professionalism a little bit.
We've kind of, fallen off the wagon in some ways.
We have a beer sponsor now.
Yeah.
Fucking
We're
right.
moving up in the podcast world.
In the podcast world. Does your podcast have a beer sponsor?
Do you drink Farmers in the Sky?
Because we fucking do. And now that we're a little bit more professional, I think we gotta stay more on top of shouting out our sponsors.
Yep.
We gotta stay more on top of episode prep.
Yep.
Guests lined up, a few topics lined up, which we have today, except for the guests, because today is a no guest episode.
But
on purpose.
On purpose. No guest episode on purpose, because we have a huge guest on Thursday. One of our all-time fans actually is coming on the show, all the way from across the pond.
The POND.
Yes. And I'll just leave it at that.
Let's just leave it at that. Okay.
So
let's just leave it at that.
We're stoked though. We're stoked.
We're super stoked. But yes, and in keeping it professional, I noticed it was just getting a little stale, and it's my professional duty to say, we got to pick it up. We've been getting suggestions from some of our guests being like segments.
Mm-hmm.
Be more creative. Have some ongoing stuff. So, we're just turning the middle of summer onto the back nine of summer now, and I'm gonna call this the season of segments.
Okay, and what do you have in mind for the first inaugural segment?
It was gonna be a bit of a Tarantino right here, because I'm gonna kind of go back to front.
Okay.
The first segment that we've thought of implementing is going to be a mystery, some would say.
And what's it called?
It's going to be called the True History Mystery. The whole thing behind True History Beer is it's a creative project, kind of. It has this whole artwork and comic book around it. That's why it's called Farm in the Sky. Like it's a story. It's like this fiction that's...
and you can read all about it.
Yeah.
I mean, or even if you speak to the guys and you know them.
Or listen to the episode.
Listen to the episodes. They got so much cool sort of marketing and ideas surrounding the beer brand.
But in that marketing is like, so you see some stuff with UFOs, some crop circles, some designs. It's mystery. It's all that stuff. So what we want to do in collaboration with True History is we want to do this True History Mystery, where we reveal clues, but hidden at some place in the city. Yeah, will be either a object or words, and we don't know how we're going to display it or where we're going to put it.
But it's going to be a race to find it first, and as winners of races normally
there'll be a prize.
Yeah, there'll be a prize, a nice prize,
and we'll give
we won't say yet what it is, but
you can assume it's going to be True History Beer. But whether we get some Wrist and Rye in there, I'll have to talk to the CEO of Wrist and Rye as well.
Yeah, do you know a guy?
I know a guy, and whether we get some maybe famous merch in there. We got to get that from Eli. And happy birthday, by the way, Eli.
Yes, I was just about to say, Eli, happy birthday.
But where are our fucking shirts?
We got people asking, knocking on the door.
People are fucking needing these
Barging
shirts,
it. You know
all
what?
right?
Speaking
It's very selfish of you to only be focused on your birthday in our time of need.
Speaking of knocking on the door and barging in, there was a contractor this morning.
At our house?
Yeah, I guess he's doing the basement.
Oh.
Sasha, I don't even know. Maybe he's still here, but
yeah.
He walked in this morning.
To our house.
Well, he like opened the door and then he's like, oh shit, and then like quickly closed. I'm like, what was that? So I went and walked out, and there's a guy walking around who's, I guess, redoing the drywall in the basement because our basement tenant just moved out. But he was walking around the side. I was like, yo, what's up?
Nice. I like your confrontational mentality.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I had to go out there.
Yo, hey, what's up, dude?
Let him know.
Let him know. I know what you just did. Because it could be the homeless, but that's always something you got to worry about in this neighborhood. Anyway, we'll get back to speaking of the homeless. True History Brewing, the True History Mystery. We'll figure out the details with them specifically, what we can give, what Rissa I can give, how we can locate this mystery somewhere in the city.
Yeah.
And we'll reveal clues to where it is, maybe some riddles, some geographical riddles, references, and then we'll narrow it down. And that's how you can get yourself some fucking prizes. So that is not technically our first segment because we're not doing it yet.
Yes.
Our first segment is going to be at the end of every episode. We're going to bring up one topic that we think pertains to being a 20-year-old.
And we're going to leave you with about a sentence or two of advice, solid advice at the end, definitive.
Well, we're going to discuss it.
Yep.
We're going to have a little dialogue, probably mostly comedically. Yep. Because we don't know anything. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to leave a rule. Like back in the How I Met Your Mother days, you know what they have they had like bro rules or whatever in his handbook. Mm-hmm. It'll be like 20-year-old rules, kind of like that. And so we'll do that at the end of the episode. That'll be our first segment. We're going to try. We'll get some feedback. We'll introduce more. It's a season of fucking segments, my dude.
It's a season of segments. And on that same train of thought, if any of our listeners, if you guys have ideas or ideas for segments, but also if you have ideas for topics you want us to talk about and discuss. In
like the 20-year-old advice section?
Yes, exactly. Or just, I guess a lot of our listeners are 20-year-olds. So any problems that they have will be relatable.
We're thinking about keeping it general. You'll see what we meet at the end.
General mission.
I got the idea from, there's this podcast I listen to called Tiger Belly, where they're comedians. And at the end of the episode, they do unhelpful advice. Yeah. Where somebody writes in, fucking pay attention. I know you had your fucking you have a screw loose. You had your mic out to the side.
I was just looking at that.
They do a segment at the end called Unhelpful Advice, and people write in like serious things that they need advice on, and they, as comedians, just absolutely give awful advice back. So this is going to be something like that with a little bit more of a real world conclusion. Mm-hmm. Other updates. What's our lives all about these days? Obviously getting worldwide famous.
Music.
We're in a rock and roll band.
Okay, yes. Trav just, worked his ass off for the last day or two. Actually, this was before the weekend, but anyways, he put together this really dope cover video that we shot up in Muskoka beginning of the summer. We were up in the docks and we wanted to shoot a cover of us playing 7 by Catfish and the Bottlemen, and finally got around to it the other day. Trav did, and he really just worked his Adobe Creative Suite skills, putting together his video, threw it up on Instagram. It's on YouTube. It's on all of our social medias.
We'll put it at the end of the video.
Yeah, and it's super sick.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll slap it at the end, but it's really dope. Robbie and I are sitting on a floating dock. We have the whole mic and guitar set up. Mm-hmm. We have Kevin going around us with a gimbal with some stabilized footage, and then we have some footage of us on the boats, wakeboarding, surfing, chilling, and it's a cool edit all around. So we'll put that at the end of the video on YouTube. Too Many Jams. And may I just air a grievance?
Yes.
Towards Creative Cloud. If you don't know what Creative Cloud is, it's Adobe is the company that makes, you've probably heard of Photoshop, but they also make our video editing software, our photo editing software. When we're doing photography, I use it there's a few other things by them I use. So I pay for something called the Creative Cloud Suite, which is a monthly subscription to get all their apps.
Yes.
And I did lie to them and say I was a student still about 2 years ago. And I've been paying $20 US a month to get access to all their stuff. And year by year, I notice they hike it up. It's not like a permanent student plan. It's like if you're a student, they give you a break, but they're expecting you to like
slowly pay more.
And right now, $80 Canadian a month. It just went up to.
That's crazy.
I know. For Soho House membership in Toronto, it's like $95 a month.
It's $900 a year.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah. And it's and like I used to pirate that shit. I used to steal it all.
Is there any way you could buy it out?
Hundreds of dollars. It's like I think per app it would be like $300 or $400.
But it'd almost be worth it. Like if you do that for 2 years.
I don't know. I don't even think you can buy it all out. Sorry, that would be like I think they have yearly. No, they would have like a yearly one-time payment you can make, but I don't think they let you just buy it anymore because it's all in the cloud. It's all updated constantly.
Yeah, and I mean it's convenient having that.
I don't know. I'm just like I'm just like who has that kind of money for just like a fucking app? Everything's for free now. Like make me watch an advertisement every time I open it. Like do what the phone apps do.
Right?
I'm not a professional. This is someone doing this for like free right now. Sure, if I'm starting to get paid a lot of money,
yeah,
great. But like have some sort of fucking throw me a freaking bone, dude.
I mean, there's got to be some sort of.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do is we're gonna sign up for another student account.
Okay.
Because spoiler alert out there, if you have a student email, a lot of these companies have no idea how to tell if you've graduated or not. Got a big discount on my Mac like 3 years after I graduated. Yeah. Student discounts on almost everything.
Perfect.
So slap that in there. But yeah, so that video will be at the end of the epi. And we also have a show coming up on the 23rd. And it is private. But if you are friends of ours, like close friends of ours, or friends of James Norris, definitely
you'll be fine.
You'll
definitely
be fine.
Reach.
You definitely reach. It's going to be at the Pilot again, our favorite spot. We just go there and we just drop some hardcore fucking covers. And we're going to sprinkle in a few of our new songs that we just released because
totally.
We haven't played them live really yet.
It's going to be fun. It's always a good time there. This is maybe like our 6th, 7th time playing there.
I don't even know, but I don't care because I love it every time it's brand new.
Every time it's good. Yeah.
And then, so that's our next show. We're going to have some more public ones in the fall, but pretty much anyone who listens to this can come because you're probably close enough to us that if you just reached out, you're welcome to roll. It's going to be a big banger. It never gets too full at the Pilot. It's got so many floors and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
So we're all good there.
Always good people there.
And let's see, that was pretty much the majority of the updates. Let's get into talking about some of the stuff like this. The part of this season that we really wanted to dive into was becoming a rock star, right? And how like what that journey really entailed. And I'd say the biggest part for us that's been hard is constantly fighting the feeling that you're making too big of a risk. It's too bold, that you'll never make it, that you don't have the talent. Why would we ever become successful? Like these are the questions that go through your head all the time. And a big part of the podcast helped us at least get over that hump and noticing that the people that make it are the ones that just believe. They obviously have a talent, which we do. And we have enough of a perspective and enough of a self-honesty that we can objectively look at ourselves and say, do we have the talent to make it? Yeah. And I think we always answer undoubtedly yes. Like if you were to plop us right down in LA with a record deal and a team behind us, are we good?
Could we produce? Yes.
Absolutely. Right. So if the answer to that is yes, do people like our music? Yes. Is it catchy? Do we have the nuts? Absolutely. So if all the answers to all those questions are yes, then we just have to consistently remind ourselves that it's worth pursuing. We
Mhm.
can make it. We're going to do it. And this podcast has been huge in that. But a lot of the stuff we haven't been talking about is like, what are some of the struggles that we've faced? And
I think, or just on that note, before you continue to your next point, I think another one of them is, which I was just speaking with Liv about earlier, is managing your expectations. Because you want it to happen so quickly, and you have all these people that you idolize in your head, thinking I want to make whatever that is, and the first time, the 7th time, maybe even like the 10th time that you try and replicate whatever it is you're looking for, it doesn't happen the way you thought it out in your head. And you just got to keep banging your head against the wall at it.
There is no success without suffering.
Yeah.
So if we were to get successful now, it just doesn't happen.
I don't think it would be enjoyable.
No.
Or as enjoyable.
It would be, you know what getting successful right now would be equivalent to, well, not really, because we've been putting in work, but I mean, like, if we just tomorrow, so, it's called getting lucky, right? It'd be the equivalent of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Like it does happen to some people. Some people get discovered. Some people become a fucking meme when they don't even mean to be.
Yeah.
And they become famous and they can do something with that. So there is getting lucky, but it's like winning the lottery, or it's like being born super wealthy and not having a touch with actually achieving that success that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
That would be like what it's equivalent to. And it's why a lot of like lottery winners or even wealthy children struggle a lot with their status, because they lottery winners a lot of times don't know what the fuck to do with money when they have it. And they realize it doesn't cure their stuff.
There are
and
other issues.
They didn't work for it. And it brings up a host of issues. And I think that getting successful without putting in the time might put you there prematurely. And it might also not feel as good because of those exact reasons.
Yeah.
Not saying that this is the flip side to that coin. Okay. I know people that were born with money or that won a lottery. No joke.
Do you know someone that won a lottery?
Yeah, like $1 million.
Yeah.
That because they had the right mindset to handle it, turned it into real success. Like started a business with it that they cared about, that they just took their advantages and were like, dope, I have advantages. Yeah. I'm going to turn this into hard work and I don't care where my money came from. Do you know what I mean?
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Yeah. And if we were to get discovered tomorrow, that's what I think we would do, is just like convert it, be like, I know this is luck. Yeah. So let's double down and make sure that we don't lose this. And
right. It's like, if we won the lottery tomorrow, I think that would, we just put all that towards paying for our living costs and such.
And getting producers and videos. And
yeah, exactly. And we could just turn all the energy towards
Famos.
The music. Yes.
Because the reward is worth it. Like every time I sit down, I go, what the fuck am I doing? I close my eyes and I'm like, imagine being on stage with a semi-chub dick in tight leather pants, singing, people going nuts. Like, fuck, did you see Loud Luxury's Insta stories from Veld?
Yeah.
That was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That was nuts. It was as people as far as you could see.
Yeah.
And that's
no
one
pun,
thing.
No pun intended.
Oh, I don't get the pun.
A sea of people.
Imagine, and that's playing their music through like speakers.
Yeah.
Imagine rock and roll, like coming from your guitar, electricity literally zapping out of your dick to the front row, impregnating men and women along the fence.
Be nuts.
It's all worth it. Having people know your song, like playing it on the radio, just places in the world, people
That'd
like
be the coolest feeling. If we like,
it's fucking worth it.
If just like one of our songs made it beyond our friend group, like that'd be fucking cool to start with. I watched A Star Is Born last night again, and
a little motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation Monday.
Fucking Bradley Cooper. Come on, like doesn't get any hotter than in A Star Is Born.
You
like
know what?
Rockstar.
He does get hotter than a Star Is Born.
Where?
Because
Why haven't I seen it?
a Star Is Born, his accent, too much.
Really? You think it was too much?
Oh, hey, little lady. I just wrote the song for you. Like, I'm like, yo, like.
I loved it. I loved his look, man. He's such a stud. Plus, just rocking up out there on those huge stages. It was so cool.
For some reason, I'm more attracted to Bradley Cooper and a lot of other movies.
Name one.
I was more attracted to him in American Sniper. He was a hunk.
He was pretty.
And a hero.
You know what? Let's just agree that when is Bradley Cooper not a hunk?
You're right.
Okay.
You're right, but I'm just saying that accent was a bit much. I didn't like it. You know why? Because it made him unrelatable to me.
Okay.
I would feel more related to him if he had a British and Australian accent, because that's all the music I like. But the country.
Well, he's not really country. He's more like
the country accent.
He's more like Southern rock.
Yeah, but the country accent, and then like also the rock music isn't that the music in A Star Is Born I wasn't really a fan of.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's just not my style. I can appreciate how good it is.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I liked the soundtrack. It's cool stuff. I actually went, like, afterwards. I went back. I went upstairs and I started listening to kind of similar type rock again.
It's
that
definitely
kind of
good.
stuff,
It's
yeah.
just I said it's not my type.
Yeah.
There's a lot of music that's good. That's not my type.
Anyways, I interrupted you back when you're going to move on to another point.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about a lot of the struggles, and managing expectations is a good one, but it's like a balancing act between managing expectations, but also being extremely hopeful and optimistic. Because if you go into everything being like, oh, it's going to be shit, like it's a bit of a different story. But it's got to be like go into everything being like, this could be the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pump it as hard as you can, and if it ends up not being the thing, just literally regroup and rebattle is more the balance there. But one of the more specific challenges we've had is, like you said, breaking out of our friend group.
Yeah.
Like, we're fortunate enough to have almost 5,000 streams and views across our 4 songs and 1 music video.
Yeah.
And basically that's from our friend group.
Yeah.
That's from the fact that we're fortunate enough to be born in a big city, you know, all these different schools and hockey teams and friends from camp and
Just
work.
having a network.
Just
of people.
large networks and big family and friends that they supported us. They liked the music and they've gotten us that far. But, you know, getting outside your friend group is been a real struggle. And some of the struggles that we've been encountering is, how do you advertise music, right? Like with the jewelry, I used to do Facebook and Instagram ads and stuff like that. We tried that with the music. It was so difficult, man. Like, we put a little clip on Facebook and Instagram and it looked really cool. It was a nice clip, had some like exciting scene on it, text out now, like John Famous.
Yeah.
And it basically got an average of less than 1 second of views, because everyone just blows by Instagram ads. Like, it couldn't have been a less.
Totally.
The only thing I haven't tried yet is story ads. I think people give story ads a bit more.
Yeah, because I mean, think about you. It's like, if I see that it's sponsored or any sort of advertising, I don't even take a look at it, even if it's music. Unless there's like like the odd occasion, something will catch my eye and I'll be like, okay, and I'll give it a click. But other than that, I don't know. It's like I follow the accounts I follow because that's the content I want to see. Like, you know what I mean? Well,
like, anyway, out of like 30,000 people that viewed the ad,
yeah,
it got like 60 clicks, which is crazy low. And also, another grievance is, I was on Instagram the other day and I saw ads for these black AirPods. Have you seen them yet?
Yeah.
I clicked it.
Yeah.
One company was called like Black Sweden with like an X. And I was like, oh, these look kind of dope. Like, killer black Sweden. Like, I'm liking this.
Yeah.
And it was $85. And I was like, that's not bad. You know, I'm going to go back to it. I start skipping through the next stories. Exact Pods, different company name. And I go, okay, it's another one of these Chinese products that gets drop shipped through like 30 different stores, all with sales funnels on Instagram, all with different names, different offers. Not a boost. Hand to God. 15 plus advertisements in a row from different named companies during this
15.
15.
Come on.
Not a boost. Different names. Some of them had different colors.
Yeah.
All featuring the black pods as the main one.
Yeah.
A lot of them shared the same product advertisement pictures of the black pods with a black iPhone on a black laptop with a black wallet. And I'm like, so what happens is a company makes a product in China.
Yeah.
And it gets drop shipped out through all these sales funnels run by people that literally just convert advertisements to money. They don't even make the product. They just make a company that advertises these Chinese brands and drop ships them. And to boot, the price was different between all of them. It was like 85 US, 25 US, 50 US, free, just pay for shipping. And like, I'm sure there's different maybe qualities of pods that they're getting, but it's just an insane world. You can't trust Instagram ads. So I got a little, like, that was a point to me where I'm like, no wonder no one trusts this shit. Like, fuck it. Fuck Instagram and Facebook ads. Like, it's all bullshit. Like, where's authentic advertising for music? So we're gonna get creative. We have a few ideas, but we're thinking more guerrilla styles, if you know what I mean.
You know, we won't give too much away, but
we don't give away our trade secrets.
Yeah, but we got an idea coming through.
We got a few ideas of how to get exposure. There's obvious ones. You know, get on a blog, get on the news, and we're gonna reach out. It's tough early days. We're still working on the story that kind of makes us newsworthy or blog worthy, but you know, I think the whole life path with the concussions and the injuries that kind of led me down here, I can shop to these blogs, maybe get a write up and stuff like that.
For sure. Yeah, all the stuff on Instagram, like
piss pee pee.
It's poo poo caca, like
straight poo poo caca. But yeah, so like that's been a real challenge.
Yeah.
And so we got to figure out a way around it, because I don't want to go into the next music release without a solid base of listeners. Like, this is the whole point. Release, sell, grow. You know, release, sell, grow. Either get bigger exposure or get noticed by somebody with money.
Well, I think you know, our friends right now count as like a growth in exposure and listener base, right? Because because now that we've made a bit of an interest amongst our network of people. Next release, now like they might be looking for it, they might not, but at least we've got a bit of a leg to stand on there. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, after that, if it doesn't reach a broader audience outside of that spectrum, then
you're right. But I hate seeing less than 1,000 plays on Spotify on any songs.
I agree.
So at the very least, before I release any more music, I'm going to have more than 1,000, because the one song is already above 3,000 on Spotify alone. Yeah. Or 28 or 900.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
On Spotify alone. The other songs have between 300 and 500. Yeah. So we need to get all those above 1,000 before release the next ones, and it's going to take some hardcore guerrilla marketing. But that's the real challenge we're dealing with now. Just in the vein of pure honesty and what it takes to be a rock star, like, you really got to, like, I'd release a sex tape if that's what it took. Like, you really got to sell yourself out there, because it's all worth it in the end, right, Kim? Anyway, the next point I wanted to talk about is speaking of rock stars, we sponsored.
I forgot about this.
We sponsored Dave Taylor in his Iron Man suit. He's got too many jams on the back and John Famos on his legs.
That's hilarious. And we can, actually, do we have a way of showing the suit? Like the final suit? I don't know. Maybe. But anyways, yeah. When's his Ironman? When's he doing it?
Oh, I don't even know. He just messaged me today asking for the money, though. Yeah. Dave, I'll send you the money, dude. Relax. All right?
So Dave is running an Ironman within, I think it's in the next few months. I think he's been training. The guy,
I'll Google it.
The guy looks absolutely like shredded right now. He's in full fit form. He's been on his David Goggins grind.
On his Goggins grind.
And he's just an animal. He's a workout animal right now. And part of negotiations for Dave, to wear the Too Many Jams and the John Famos logos is he was going to come on the show before or afterwards, or maybe both, and he's going to talk about it. And
dude, I have no idea when this Ironman is. No, well, the thing is when you see a buddy trying, like, it's the same reason like we're trying to do something kind of lofty. When you see a buddy working that hard at it, Dave was like, do you want to sponsor our suit? And like, you and I aren't millionaires right now. We don't have tons of cash lying around.
Yeah.
But like when a buddy's doing something like that, just same as the beer, same as anything, like you just want to help him. You just want to get behind it. And we saw the work he's putting in. He was at your cottage before that concert we went to and got up early and went for like a 60K bike ride.
Yeah.
For no reason at the cottage, just like because he's on his grind. So
yeah, but yeah, and if you ever met Dave, he's the biggest yes man you will ever meet, and it's super good lad. We're super stoked, super proud of him.
Yeah,
and
happy to slap our dirty logos all over it.
Totally
taint his tri suit like that. But I think honestly, I don't know if he's running with a buddy.
Hunter.
Yeah, I just don't know if Hunter's. I think Hunter might be getting a suit too.
Oh.
I just don't know if Hunter's getting an identical suit.
So you may not know the answer to this, but do all the athletes, they try and get sponsors on their suits?
Okay, this is the way I pictured it.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why I wanted to sponsor a suit. I think like when you have a dope golf outfit on or dope hockey gear, look good, play good kind of deal.
Yeah.
You wanna have your thing covered in sponsors. It makes you feel good, like it's all worth it, and you kind of perform better. And I want him to be going because we got John Famos on the thighs.
Yeah.
I want him to be fucking on that bike and just seeing John Famos on the thighs and just be like, fucking right. It's like I'm sponsored. The boys are behind me.
We need some pictures of this.
I told him part of the sponsorship deal as well was that he could only listen to John Famos tracks.
You might get sick of it.
I know.
The 4 songs.
No, sorry. I said to pump himself up.
You can only listen to podcasts because you know what? This is our 60th episode.
Congrats, my dude.
Congrats.
A lot of work every week for the relentless grind.
Week. Yep.
But yeah, so just wanted to give him a shout out. I'll send the money, dude. All right. Okay. Quit texting me. What do you need to break my knees? All right.
Chill out, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. I told him I would do it this week.
Yes.
Next on the docket, because I think that's all the updates. So now we can just talk about. We did like shit out a bunch of updates.
Mm-hmm.
We've been lacking a lot of episodes. We've just been kind of talking about either guest stuff or we've just been like making jokes.
No, that was good though.
But now let's fit in a little bit of fun story time.
All right.
Jewel July. Did you have a successful No Jewel July?
Jewel July. Success.
So did Kev. We other than the one allotted weekend, mid-center July, which was already on the calendar, which was a big golf tournament, which you can't golf. We can't do a golf tournament without having some sort of nicotine on the course. Nicotizzle. But other than that, the 2 weeks leading up and the 2.5 weeks after, not a problem, dude.
Not even an afterthought.
Like, see ya.
See ya, Jewel.
Except I right after on August 1st we cracked open a celebratory pod. How'd it feel?
Yeah.
Kind of like less exciting.
It's like whatever. I don't need it.
I'm like today, like I'm not huffing it on the episode. What I think it is once you got it out of your system, I didn't crave that weird Jewel feeling all the time.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of living in before, which I craved. I was kind of like, I like this like weird Jewel trance I'm in. But once I got out of it, I was like, oh, like two weeks out, you start to feel really healthy and really good. And you're like, I kind of like just a clear head.
Isn't it better?
Mm-hmm. And the heart palpitations kind of died down too, which is nice.
Oh, that's comforting too.
And what's not comforting is how lax Google is on heart palps. Because I Google it, I'm like, Google, I'm having heart palpitations. They're like, it's good. They're like, you're fine. They're like,
Google?
they're like, stop doing stimulants before bed.
You're not a doctor.
Maybe hit some cardio. Like heart palpitations are normal when you're laying down at night, which is when I get them. Only on my left side, which is your heart side. And Google's just like, this is really normal. You're chill. And I'm like, no, fuck you, Google. Tell me this is awful so that I see a cardiologist. I give up all cholesterol and stimulants for a year. Like, scare me a little bit. Don't give me this like butter me up. Tell me I can keep doing stimulants and fucking.
Yeah, you know what? One way to kick a bad habit or to change your lifestyle is to have a health scare.
Yeah, concussion, gave up drinking, coffee, nicotine, even pretty much everything for almost a year.
It's pretty good.
Because I thought I needed to do it for my brain. Turns out I really didn't. It was a neck related issue, but thanks for the health scare.
Until next time.
Yeah, so the real update from No Jewel July is very easy to quit if you're a strong-minded person. You just look it in the eye and you call the little bitch it is, and you say, fuck you, Jewel. I own you. You're a little USB stick, and I'm a man. All right? And you can't control me.
Just toss you in the water.
Except I would not, because you never know when you're gonna need it. Just kidding. But next item of business. I gotta tell you something. Do you remember I posed this question to you the other day?
Yeah.
I was like I was trying to boil water to make pasta.
Yeah.
And it took fucking so long.
Yeah.
And it was a statement, watching water boil. It takes forever. And I remember like posing the question to my brother-in-law, or even maybe to you guys. I was like, why does it take so little time to boil water in a kettle?
Yeah.
And so long in the pot? Why don't I just boil it in the kettle, pour it into the pot, and then, just continue on cooking? Mm-hmm. And I found out why.
Okay. Why is this?
So I'm cooking noodles the other day. I have to go to hockey. I'm running really late. And I'm like, running late. Need to boil water, pasta, quick kettle. Let's do this. This is perfect. Slap it in the kettle. I'm boiling it. It's getting up to temperature. I can hear it making some noises. So you know what? I think I'm smart. I'm going to preheat the pot. Not too crazy, but preheat the pot so that it's not going in cold. It's going to go in and be able to maintain the boil. Just warm it up, just like.
Can I guess?
Yeah, what's that?
Splashed all over you or sprayed everywhere?
2 out of 3, correct. So the water's boiling in the kettle. I have the pot on max heat, thinking that it's not going to get so hot in the 30 seconds or a minute that anything's going to happen. I immediately pour it in the bowl. It's rapid steam. It goes and like sprays me with hot sprinkles all over my arms. I'm going like getting hot splashback, steam plume, entire kitchen steamed up.
Like a steam room.
Well, the kitchen's big enough. It didn't steam room, but I mean, like you saw the steam plume. Luckily, we don't have. There's no fire alarm in our kitchen.
Yeah.
So nothing went off. Very dangerous though.
Shit.
There's no fire alarm, but steamed the whole kitchen up, splashed the shit out of my arms, lost a lot of water to contact steam with the pan, and it was kind of a violent experience.
And did you end up cooking your pasta?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go to hockey, but I remember thinking that's why people don't boil in the kettle and pour into a pan.
That's why. After all,
because obviously when that happened, I had to crank down the heat, and then I lost a lot of water, and then I turned the heat back on, and it had to like re get up to temperature. It probably
just took the same amount of time it would have taken if you just heated it in the pot.
Yeah. So lesson learned. So let's end it with a little segment here.
Okay.
It's the final segment where we talk about issues, new issue each week, and if we have guests, we'll ask them their opinion, where we give a definitive, rule, the 20-year-old rule on a certain thing that seems to affect us in our day-to-day lives. This week, something I thought of, because it just happened to me even this morning at A&W, of all places, a safe space. They said, do you want to donate $2 with your meal to something? Right, I'm 20 years old, just turned 27. I get it. Maybe I look like I have a little dough in my pocket, but if you're in your 20s and below, should you feel obligated to donate at the cash register or to give money to the homeless at our age and our current income status? Because every time they ask, I feel guilty. What's the definitive answer for our age group?
I'll start by saying this. I feel more guilty when I pull up to a takeout food place and I'm presented with a tip option for takeout food. And I feel more obligated to tip in that scenario.
Let's include that in this. Tipping at like a Subway cash register style restaurant.
That
like
kind of place, right? Because there is some of those restaurants that do that. And
like
then,
Pita Pit.
Do they do that at
They
Pita Pit?
did, yeah.
Really?
The one in London, yeah, right below 695.
I don't know. I can't.
What's the thought?
What's the thought? It's like it sort of depends what kind of mood I'm in, but like generally I don't tip on takeout food.
Like if you order at the counter.
If I order it at the counter?
You don't tip on fast food.
No.
Okay, I got two schools of thought on this.
Okay.
I used to go into Pita Pit almost daily.
Yeah.
I now have a relationship with these people. I'm saying, what up, Greg?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's extra awkward because Greg's going to recognize me. I come in every time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to know me as a guy that doesn't tip. Random place on the road, some place I'm not going to go very often. No, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But the question is should we feel guilty? This is the way I pose the question in my mind. I feel guilty because when they ask for, or when homeless people ask for money, or when the cash register asks, like, do you want $2 to go to Children's Cancer Hospital?
Yeah.
It's not exactly that, but it's something along those heartstrings.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm feeling guilty because I come from a family with money.
Yeah. Enough
that, you know, they would always do stuff like that, help out where they can, give money to homeless. Like, so I was raised doing it.
Yeah.
But now that it's my money,
yeah,
I'm not in a place of means, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think both our bank accounts just dinged off zero at the end of last month.
Oh, totally.
And we had to we had to wait for some payments to come in. But like that little ding, you know,
just like the backboard of zero, just like
I bounced it off the backboard. I didn't go into negatives, but I literally alley-ooped off the zero marker. So I'm sitting there knowing that I just hit zero in my bank account this morning at the A&W, and they're asking, and I have to buy a new phone because I just broke my phone. So that's another fucking expense. And they're like, "Do you want $2 to help kids in need?" And I'm like, I think we're in the right saying no.
Okay, so another thing that runs through my head when I get posed these questions, not particularly to donating to charities, but just in the service industry, I think everyone in the service industry understands this, that it's good karma to, if you're, you can always tell.
I tip servers.
Yeah, servers. Yeah, you can always tell someone who's in the service industry because like they'll tip well when you're serving them. So I always think it's good karma to sort of pay that forward. But
didn't know you were a spiritual man.
I don't know. That's just sort of the way I think about it. But I don't know if that pertains to takeout orders. It's like it's kind of like either build that into your prices or
right. Takeout is different because you that's your job front to back. It's like, yeah, I don't know if they get paid a server's wage or if they get paid a normal wage. That's a real testament.
Yeah.
But it is uncomfortable.
I think you know what? I think tipping it for jobs is there's got to be some sort of like variable like of how well you can do it. So if you're sitting down at a restaurant, you can judge how well your server is doing, right? And that determines how much you're going to tip them.
I tip them the same every time. They could poop in my salad. I just like
really,
yeah.
But even if it's bad, or if like I don't know, if it's really good, do well. Like if it's bad, then like a little bit less. Like there's other factors.
Like 15 to 20, maybe I give them 15.
Right? There's other factors that come into play, but it's just for takeout. It's you show up there and you pick up the food. It's like you could be doing the same thing really over and over and over again. There's no like variable for you to determine like what is.
But the question is also, okay, with homeless people, it's like, okay, I feel guilty because I'm going out and I have money to maybe get drunk tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Out and party or buy a new phone.
Yeah.
Do I have a little money to spare? Probably. Is he just going to use that money to get drunk? In which case, why am I financing your party? Like if he legitimately wanted food and he could prove that to me, then yeah. But if he's gonna get fucked up off that, that's my fucked up money.
Yeah.
I'm getting fucked up off that.
Yeah.
And as you said, they don't exactly market themselves very well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they haven't provided any sort of graphic or reinforcement where this money's going to.
Yeah.
And there's numerous things where sometimes I'm even down to give them a little fucked up money. If I have some spare change, our buddy around the corner who I haven't seen in a while, hopefully he's okay. I'm down. I see him. I give him money sometimes, and I watch him walk right into wine rack.
Nice.
I know. And I kind of back that. But a lot of other times when I'm running a little tight on the bank account, that's my fucked up money.
Yeah.
So they need to, if they had some sort of spreadsheet or some sort of guarantee of where it's going, but break down like this is my fucked up budget, this is my food, like a bit of better marketing. But the real question is, do we feel guilty? Should we do it? Because even people in their 20s that have a good job, that have money, that didn't just ding off zero and are grinding it out, maybe they're saving up for a condo, maybe they're saving up for a house. Every dollar counts. Like it's should we feel obligated? At what point do you hit the financial point where you can give back? And I think as a 20-year-old, the definitive hammered down rule is that you don't need to do the cash register donation.
I don't.
You don't need to tip at the counter fast food restaurants, and you don't have to feel guilty walking past homeless people unless in all three cases, or in the last two cases, the fast food restaurant or the homeless person, maybe you have somewhat of a relationship with those people. Maybe you go there a lot or you see the homeless person a lot. Yeah, and you kind of just, you'd help them out just like you would a buddy or something. Or at the counter, maybe every once in a while, slap that toonie down. But you don't feel obligated and you don't feel guilty. So instead of feeling guilty not doing it, instead do it the odd time and feel a bonus. So I think the definitive rule is don't feel guilty not doing it, but feel good when you do, instead of only feel normal when you do and feel guilty when you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Control your emotions. It's a game of numbers for them. It's like, say they serve like I don't know, that like the A&W, they serve like 300 orders in a day. 100 of them say yes. It's $200.
Yeah, but again, it's not coming from me. Sorry, A&W. I'm there for a reason. This isn't a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm there to if I wanted to spend $18 to $22, I'm not at A&W.
Yeah, it's true.
So that $2 gap is almost 15% of the price of what I'm paying increase. Now you're putting me in the territory of, maybe shawarma.
You know what? This just made me think of concerts. When like a lot of artists or musicians, when they do concerts, they'll pair up with organizations and they'll just announce it themselves instead of like having an option on their tickets when you're checking out being like, oh, like, do you want to add an extra $1 or $2 to
It's
go
already
to
partnered into
this?
the price.
It's already partnered into the price, and they're like 99 cents of every ticket or something that's coming out of their pocket.
That's better
is
marketing.
going right.
And the homeless could learn a lesson from that, because if they had a sign right there that said 99 cents from this is going to food, 10% is going to Wine Rock, I'm still into that distribution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, 80%, 10% darts, 10% booze. I'm still into that distribution.
Yeah.
That being said, maybe we can call this segment Tips for Your 20s.
Tips for your 20s. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm good at naming, dude. I had True History Mystery and Tips for Your 20s off the tongue, dude. Off the fucking tongue.
Props.
And that was a crispy Pilsner, so thank you, True History. It's good. I wouldn't lie to you.
It's fantastic.
You call me a liar?
Go get some yourself. Treat yourself to a nice afternoon. I was supposed to say afternoon.
Yeah.
Afternoon of beer.
And if you have enough, it'll be an after tune as well.
Oh, yes.
And speaking of after tunes, after this episode will be our tune that we covered.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's everything for this wrap up, catch up, mustard episode. We wanted to get it all out there. So without further ado, we will see you next
Tuesday.
Au revoir. All right, we're John Famos. We're in Muskoka, and this is 7 by Catfish and the Bottlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Larry got a load of smoking. I want to lose a couple days. You probably never struggled coping, but I never wanted to. Promised again that I would call her. Forget the time, 'cause I'm 7 hours behind. It's probably good I didn't call though, but I never wanted to. And I beg you, but you know I'm never home. And I love you, but I need another year alone. And I try to ignore it every time you phone, but I never come close. And I don't think through things, I never get time, 'cause I don't think things through. Larry caught a load of smoking. I wanna disappear for days. You probably never struggled sleeping, but I never wanted to. Promised again that I would call her. Forget the time, 'cause I'm 7 hours behind. It's probably good I didn't call though, but I always wanted to. And I beg you, but you know I'm never home. And I love you, but I need another year alone. And I try to ignore it every time you phone, but I never come close. And I don't think through things, I never get time, 'cause I don't think things through. And I don't think through things, I never get time, 'cause I don't think through things. Another second to myself. And I try to ignore it every time you phone, but I never come close. And I beg you, but you know I'm never home. And I love you, but I need another year alone.
just as the waves are rolling in. Thank you very much.